parts. The first one will be today, and then the second half will be in 2 weeks. Okay? And we start here in this hill, which is an amazing place to start to deal with the Judean hills, because you can actually see a very lot of things around, and once you get up there, you'll see even more. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so since it's almost your first tour in the course, and actually it's the first one not in a deserty place in the middle of nowhere, no offense, so I want to say a few 3 words to my guiding. The first one is that tour guiding course can be quite frightening, because you got the impression that you need to know everything, okay? And all of the lecturers trying to show you that they know everything. So be like me and know everything. So I'll start with the disclaimer. I don't know everything. Actually, I encourage each one of you. You are, of course, placed in Jerusalem. So some of you might be living here around. Some of you might know these places from personal experience. If you want to share with us, please do. If you want to, so I will go out of this day as smart as I entered it. But if not, I have the chance to be maybe a bit smarter in the end of the day. I already asked Oren to please involve and add things to my guiding, because I want to learn from him. And I encourage you to do the same with your groups. Okay, encourage them to share, so you can get out smarter of your guidings. Okay? So as I told you, in the guiding course, the problem is that it seems like everyone wants you to know everything. And I think that personally, as I see things, I think that in those days, the most important thing is to understand the big picture, to understand the zoom out, to understand the processes and the area. So I will say a lot of names and years, but those are not the important things. Because every name I say, and he was beaten by his father when he was 6 years old. Okay, all that you can find in Google. You just write down his name, and okay, I'll Google it, I know who he was. But understand, when did he come here, why, how is connected, this is the most important thing. So please, I encourage you again to concentrate on understanding processes and not tiny details, because tiny details you'll have endless tiny details, okay, which you can always be searched by Google. Okay, you are not a tour guide to replace Google, but to give the experience of connecting people to places. Okay, and this is not being done by giving them a lot of tiny details. So the second thing I wanted to tell you, but there is an exception. There are tiny details which you do need to know. Okay, and the most important one is the timeline of this piece of land. You need to remember this by heart, and as soon as possible, it's better, because we cannot work without it. We don't know what comes before what, and when we start, when is every era, you're lost. Okay, so this is the only thing I encourage you to learn by heart and quickly. Okay? So we start by going over it very quickly, and that's why we started here, in this hill, because in this hill, we're gonna see all of the eras, okay, all of different epochs, and how can it be? In order to understand this, you need to understand that people are not settling everywhere. Okay, there are conditions where people would choose to settle, to build their village. Okay, so what conditions should we look for? Water. Okay, the first one is of course water. That's great. Do we have water here? Yes. Yeah, there is a very big spring down there. Solek is there. Okay, we're not talking about Solek is out. Okay, I'll tell you one word. When I say wadi, okay, wadi can be translated into a river, but the wadis here are most of the time empty unless there is a flood or in winter time. So when we say wadi, we can say that it's a valley, but not a wide one, but a narrow one. Stream, do you have any better word for this? Stream, yeah, but no water inside. So we'll use the word wadi, okay? So Sorek Valley is a wadi. It's like a river, but it's empty. So it's not really it does not have a spring. Water resources here are springs, not rivers. In the Judean Hills, we don't have really stable rivers. So we have a spring here. It's called the Spring of Hannah, and we'll explain later the name. Okay, it's a modern name, not a historical one. Okay, so water. What is the next one?
Agriculture.
Agriculture. That's good. So in order to do agriculture, you need good soil. Okay?
Yeah.
Good soil in order to do agriculture. Great. Third one.
High area.
Why should it be high? Okay, defensible. Okay, that's a good one. To be defensible place, that's good. And the last one. Okay, of course we are defensible, yes? It's to say the least. And?
Building material, stone or wood.
Yeah, but that's not like the essential people can live in caves.
The weather, maybe.
Access. To be close to a road. Not necessarily a main road, but I cannot say in a logic distance from a road. Okay? Are we in a logic distance from a road?
Yes.
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 Okay, so please, if you can take a look behind you, you can see here the Judean hills, of course. We'll later explain more. But if you look down there, you see a village much lower down there. You see? This is the way to climb up from the shore to Judean hills, to Jerusalem, in the most simplest way. There's only this steep place, this steep staircase up there that goes once in a very steep way in a very short time, and then you're up here. Okay, it's called, the historical name was Ma'ale Bet Horon. Okay, the ascendants, that's maybe the say to say Ma'ale Aqabat in Arabic, of Bet Horon. Okay, actually today there are two villages there, and their names are Bet Ur Foka, Bet Ur Tahta. Okay, lower Bet Ur and upper Bet Ur. Okay, because the staircase was in between the staircase of Bet Horon, and the name Bet Horon was kept in the name of the village Bet Ur. Okay, but one marks us when it ends and one when it starts. Okay, so if you want to go from the shore to Jerusalem, that might be the best way. Okay, the shortest climbing. Okay, so you can see here the ancient road going up from the shore to the mountains, and it's actually kind of being kept by road number 443. Okay, the modern road 443.
Which one?
Okay.
Bet Horon Road?
Bet Horon Road. Yes. So that might be your acronym word: water, agriculture, road, and defensible. Defense. Okay. And once you have all these four, you have a good place to build your village. Okay? And why is this important? Because if this is a good place, you see that none of these conditions are really changing. You see the roads are the same, most of them. Like the main roads, most of the time keep their way because it's a nice way and it's a good one, it's comfortable. And water sources don't tend to disappear. Sometimes they disappear, but they don't tend to. Just like the agricultural potential and the defensive potential. Those things are not changing, and this is important. Why? Because if some disaster happened, a catastrophe, this place was destroyed, it was attacked, there was an earthquake or any other reason, and this place was abandoned, once the new habitants of this land will look for a place to live in, they will be very likely to choose the same place. Okay? And this is really important. Because if we have a place who have all these four conditions, okay, and people said, this is a nice place to settle in because I've got all these four conditions, they will settle over it, but once the village will be destroyed, dozens years later, maybe just the same year, we don't know, but the next habitants of the land normally will choose to settle on the same place, okay, and then we have a layer cake, and this phenomena is called a tell. Okay? And once you want to find your history, you start to dig the tell, and the deepest you go, the more ancient layers you find. Okay? And we are on a tell. Okay? That's why here you can encounter all the different eras you were already learning of in class, and can try identify them in this specific tell. Of course, not in every tell all layers will be very present. Okay? But this is a very good demonstration because in this tell we can see a lot of layers, a lot of strata. We prefer layers, yeah? Than strata. Strata is better? Okay, we'll use strata. No, I thought it's too sophisticated word. Okay. So let's start with the timeline you've already learned of. So the first thing to remember from the timeline is stone, bronze, iron. That's schematic way to remember it. Okay? Stone Age, then Bronze Age, then Iron Age. Okay? when we're trying to think about the inhabitants of the land in each one of those, in the Stonehenge is the prehistoric man. Okay, Flintstones? Yeah. Again, everything is very, very rough right now. Okay, you'll get into details in every epoch, but right now I'm simplifying things as much as I can. Okay? And as much as I can without foreign extremely. It's not that simple. Okay? So stone. Then we have stone, bronze, and iron. And stone is more or less the prehistoric man. Bronze is more or less the Canaanite. Okay, more or less. Did I say it enough time? It's fine? Did I say it enough? And then we have iron, which is more or less Israelite. Okay?
Which is first one?
Stone,
Prehistoric.
bronze, iron. Prehistoric, Canaanite, Israelite. Okay?
ايش السكند one?
Second one.
Is this fine?
Yes.
Okay, so somewhere in between the stone and the bronze, we have a transfer between them. It's another epoch, the Chalcolithic one, but okay, let's leave it
Third
for now.
one,
Okay,
Israelite.
there is the Chalcolithic, we can write CL for this, like in between, like a passage between them. Okay, between stone and bronze. Okay. So stone is prehistoric man, so we don't have a lot in details. Like it's before urbanization. Okay, so normally we can't talk of Stone Age cities. Okay, the urbanization normally starts in the Bronze Age. Okay, when history starts. Okay, so Bronze Age when people start to write, when people start to civilize, and when people start to settle in cities. Okay, of course there are cities who claim to be from Stone Age, like Jericho, but it's doubtful. Okay. Bronze time is when urbanization starts, and that's why most of the tells that we find around this land, and we have dozens of tells, not dozens, hundreds and hundreds of tells, will start from Bronze Age. Okay? This is the first layer that you will see of real walls of a real city. Okay? The Canaanite city. Okay, and Bronze Age can start around minus 3600. Okay, again, it's doubtful, some people will say 3300. Which one do you prefer, Oren? 3600 or 3300?
3500.
3500. Okay, we'll take Oren's compromise. So minus 3500, and we'll end it in minus 1200. Okay? What happened in minus 1200 that ends the Bronze Age?
Israelite period.
Yeah, but what happened? Okay.
What is the question again?
What happened in minus 1200 that we decided to pick it as a year to say this is the year where we stop the Bronze Age and start the Iron Age?
The collapse.
Yeah, so there is a collapse and we start to see new civilization. And there are different ways to understand this collapse and who is this new civilization. But we'll now decide, like normally we'll decide with our tourists, I guess, to look for the answer in the Bible. Okay, so we'll just open now the Bible and we'll try to read. Okay? When I'm saying Bible in this site, I'm meaning Old Testament. Okay? When I'll say Bible in our next site, in Interim, I'll talk about New Testament. Okay, but right now we have the Old Testament. And the Old Testament narrative tells us about the Exodus, okay, of the people of Israel, from Egypt.
Yes. Where exactly?
I'm doing it very roughly. I'm not reading anything specific. I'm giving the narrative in a zoom out. Okay? We'll get into details soon. Sorry?
Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus. So we're talking about the Exodus from Egypt, and then 40 years wandered in the desert, being led by Moses, and then they get in. They want to get into the desired land, the promised land, the land of Israel, but Moses is not getting them in. Okay? He cannot get everyone in. He's dying just before they're crossing the Jordan River and entering the promised land. And who is there to take the Joshua, of course. So Joshua is the one that gets the people of Israel in to the land of Israel. They're crossing the Jordan River. Okay? The first city they meet when they cross the Jordan River is Jericho, and you know that Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. You know this song? The Americans know. Yeah. And after, huh?
The song.
Yeah, the song. It's a famous song. And after he fought the Battle of Jericho, is going to Nablus area, to Shem area, you know, with the two mountains. And what happened after this? Then he is approaching this land that we see from here, the Judean Hills area. Okay? And the people here around are already frightened because they knew what he made to Jericho. Of course, they know the song. So they're afraid that what happened in Jericho and in Nablus area will happen to them as well. And the inhabitants of a specific city named Gibeon, they send a delegation to deceive Joshua, and they're telling him, we came from a very long way. We're not living here in this piece of land. We're from a very far away place, and we heard that you are the new power in this area. What we're talking here, yeah, in minus 1200. Okay, if we're taking the biblical explanation of what happened. So we plead you, maybe we can have a covenant between us two. Okay, an ally. And he say, okay, why not? Foreigners want to come with me inside and we'll have a covenant. And only after they're signing this contract or whatever it was, he revealed that he was deceived. They're not foreigners, they're actually one of the cities he is about to contest. But you cannot take your word back. Okay? So what was the solution with the inhabitants of Gibeon? Yes, you're going to be our water carriers and wood cutters. Okay? That's what was. So I won't take you out because I give you my word. Okay? You can still live here. Okay? But will you be the wood cutters and water carriers? So you can understand.
Sweet.
Maybe. Kind of. It's a nice question to think of what that means, okay? But the important thing is because if you see those trees, behind them there is a hill, okay? And this hill is the hill of Gibeon. Gibeon, okay?
This is the story, it's here.
Huh?
You're telling the story that it's here.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the village, okay, you see the road? You see the road here? Yes? To the right of the road, there is a village. And the name of this village is Al-Jib. What is Al-Jib? Okay, Jib is like a pocket. But of course, it's not the pocket village, it's Gibeon. Okay, this is the biblical city. Gibeon. Yes. But of course, the city is not where you see the modern village, but just beside it, okay, just to the right of it, there is a hill, and this hill is the hill of Gibeon, okay? And you can see the Bronze Age and Iron Age, because it was a Canaanite city before Joshua coming in, and then it continued into the Israelite period, because this is the city of Gibeon, more likely the city of Gibeon continued to thrive under Jewish occupation back then, okay? If you can say Jewish about minus 1200, some people say it's pre-Jewish or pre-Israelite, or whatever you can call it. Okay, is that fine? Can I go on?
Yes.
Okay, so Joshua is in, Joshua contested the land, and then he's splitting it into 12 pieces. Why 12 pieces? 12 tribes. There are the 12 tribes of Israel, and each one of them needs, now I know the word allotment. Should I use this or it's too high word? Allotment?
Allotment, use it for the budget issues.
I was googling what is like the right term. It's better to say lands, 12 lands. Allotments, okay, we'll take it. Sections, okay, I took these ones. Okay, we'll take sections. Okay, so 12 sections. Each section is attributed with one of the 12 tribes. Okay? And where are we? In which tribe took the land we are in right now? Benjamin. Wow, very good. Where is Benjamin's land? Okay. What you see here in front of you is Benjamin land, the area of Ramallah and everything which is north to Jerusalem. Okay? So this is Benjamin land, what you can see from here. North to it is Ephraim and south to it is Judea. And actually everything which is there is Judea. Okay? Are we fine?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on.
The north.
After Joshua, who is the next leader of the 12 tribes? So we actually don't have a prominent leader. We have a lot of local leaders, and these local leaders are called the judges. Okay, this is the second book after Joshua. during the prophets, in this prophet section of the Bible. So the judges are local leaders that lead the local area.
Like
Sorry.
church
We are
leaders.
talking before King David, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll proceed into King David very soon. Okay? So 150 years more or less of judges. Okay? And all of them are local leaders. Some of their names are really known, like Samson, and some of them are really unknown. Like Eli- Can I go on? Can I proceed, or there's any questions? Okay. Okay, we are now in minus 1100, and we need to go till 1960.
So Shiloh was the temporary place for the Ark of Covenant, right?